have my linear actuator switch right above the battery box, and I put it in this position just so that it would be awkward to for anybody to get at. They'd have to go to a lot of trouble to get at it. I don't want it to be pushed accidentally when I'm underway. So the actuators are tuned to each other pretty good, not perfectly, but it takes about a minute and a half to raise or lower the roof. I had to fine tune it. Right down there. I added an extra 10 feet of wire to one of the lines going to the rear actuators because they were closest to the battery source, and that just put in a little bit of extra line drop and slowed them down just like a potentiometer. Anyways, it's tuned pretty good now, and I will close this down. So just to give you a show around of what I've done, because it's been a while since I've created a video. So here's the linear actuators, and I have it supported. Here's the base down there, so it's screwed into a solid base. I have it coming up through this ledge. Right now it's just plywood. I'll be covering that, making that look a lot nicer. And to the ceiling, I have it screwed in there. So this raises 30 inches from its resting position. Now, one thing I have added is guy wires to keep the canopy stable, because in the wind it would get rocking pretty good. So I have two at the back. I have some cross sections. It's hard to see these. They're very fine. That's what I like about them. I have two on the port side at the front and two on the starboard side. I don't have any at the front at the moment. So going forward, there's a little bit of rocking at the front. I'm going to be adding some cables here and having them lock into the gunnel at about here, because I don't want them crisscrossing in front of where I'm trying to view out of, even though that it's really hard to see looking out through the back. There's two cables crisscrossing and you don't really notice it. However, because I know it's there, I would notice it. The two at the back, I also plan to change the configuration and have them come down to about here. In order to do that, I had to order some more cleats. I've got 8 cleats around the gunnels right now. So I have 4 on each side, and I'm using them as a combination to attach the guy wires to, but of course they'll also be used for ropes or buoys to hang out, but they are very wide and actually act as a handle, so multi-purpose. The wiring is virtually all done. There's a few little things I need to add, but looking under here, you can see where the navigation lights, or the wiring for the navigation lights at the front, as well as the linear actuator wiring. I had that going through right back in here, and encased in a little encased in a wire cover, I guess you'd call it that. Just neaten it up, and same with over here, and running down through here. I don't think you can see that. The wiring from the solar panels, I have them running along the side and just dropping straight on down. That glare is pretty bad. Let's see. I have them coming straight on down. So this is all the cabling that's to do with the roof, the canopy. So because I have two solar arrays up there, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cables for that. Another 2 cables that will go to a solar array, which currently is over on my other boat. That'll get moved to a little flip out canopy that will hang off the back of the boat, and you can see the 2 solar cables are hanging there waiting for me to install it. This final white cable goes to all my little pot lights, and let's see, I'll turn the pot lights on. Here's the pot lights all turned on. I have 8 of them, and I have little individual switches to turn them off so I could fine-tune everything. I still need to do some dressing up, put some trim along here, neaten things up. Need to put some silicone in the access holes where the cables come through the ceiling. And that will be pretty much it for phase 1 of the boat. Phase 2, I will continue on and add an enclosure all the way around, so I could go into camping mode. Camping mode with my wife. I'll still be able to do camping mode by myself, and I will show you how I will be doing that a little later. Here's my battery bank, the main battery bank. This is a 10 kilowatt lithium iron phosphate battery bank, all configured. I have to neaten up the wiring a little bit. This is the going to my Torpedo Cruise motor. Down here you can see 2 shunts. So this is the Whiz Bang Junior that I had to buy separately for my Midnight Solar controller. So it'll come through. So this is the main ground to the battery. Go through the shunt, and then all my other battery connections, so the solar controller battery connections, will go to this position. But then I've added another shunt, and right now this is not really doing anything. This feeds directly into the cable feeding to my motor. Now the Torpedo Cruise motor already monitors all power and speed going to it, but if I eventually change this over to an Elco motor, it doesn't, and I will need a separate little meter that will attach right to here, and I'll put that up to my control panel. That way I'll be able to monitor the amp hours going to the Elco motor. On this side, on the positive, I have a 200 amp breaker, and that's pretty much it. The other positive wires here feed the solar controller. So this battery bank connects only to the solar controllers and the motors. this battery bank over here, a couple of lead acid batteries. This is 12 volt, and they all feed through a fuse panel. So every auxiliary power connection I have goes to this fuse panel. This is for the lights, the ceiling lights, pot lights, navigation lights. What else do I have hooked up here? Oh, I have a third solar controller, which I'll show you in a minute. And anything else I want to add in here for auxiliary powering, power to the linear actuators goes here. So everything is powered by these 12 volt lead acid batteries. I do have two more like this, and these are out of my old boat. Right now you're looking at 12 volts at 220 amp hours. I could put another two in parallel. Don't really need that much power for house batteries, but I have it here anyways. I have them hooked up with a temporarily connected up with an on-off switch, just using a light switch, just for a disconnect. I want to get the boat out cruising first, see how it performs. If I need to shift these batteries further up in the boat to one of the holes in the front of the boat, then I could do so, just to balance the weight. I won't know until I get out and test. So that's why it's kind of like a temporary configuration, and once I finalize the configuration, I will do it a little bit neater and a little bit better. I have two Midnight Kid controllers, 30 amps each. That's what they can handle. On the bottom I have a very inexpensive no-name controller that feeds the lead acid battery. And to the side I have breakers. These are the breakers for each solar controller. This is the battery connection, and this goes up to the solar panel. Currently I have it off because I am just doing a load test on the batteries. Afloat. It's in the water. It's already been getting a lot of attention. Passerbys, they helped me put it in the water because the water is so shallow over there that it took a couple of us to heave ho and get it off the trailer.